Hello, beautiful people. My name is Lady Calamere, and I'm doing my 212th video, and it will be on the god Vidar. And behind me, we have my beautiful assistant, Loki, and maybe Lord Maximus will actually make an appearance. So, who is Vidar? Well, he is the son of the All-Father Odin and a Jotnir called Grid. Grid, or sometimes Gridr. I remember in Icelandic, and it is all the R's are rolled like they do in Spanish. So if you know the Spanish language, they roll the double R, not all the R's, but the double R. So Vidar is the second strongest god when it comes to strength, and the first, the most strongest god is Thor. Thor. Now, Odin is, of course, the most powerful one when we talk about strategy, warfare, political thinking, and wisdom, intelligence, magic, strength, and agility. So we know Odin is the most powerful one, especially of the Aesir. But Vidar is the second. And it says after Ragnarok, and that's if a lot of these stories can be believed because they were written down by Christians and had a Christian slant. After Odin is swallowed by Fenrir, Vidar takes his revenge on Fenrir, and he has this mighty boot that has many, 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 many soles and leather on it, of just giant iron boot, in which he grabs Fenrir and pushes his heel into his mouth and grabs the upper jaw and rips him apart. So here is Vidar. It's no bigger than a chess piece. But you see him with the wolf's head, and that is Fenrir's head, or Fenris, however you want to pronounce it. Fenrir, Fenris. In America, we say we don't roll. A lot of us don't want to roll our R's. But remember, the R's are rolled, just like the double R is in Spanish. And he has a little bit of coloring here. He's a smaller stature. This is what I was able to get. This was available, and I got him a while ago. So it's small, cold cast bronze with a lot of detail for its size, and no bigger than a chess piece. So hopefully Lord Maximus makes an appearance. We got Loki here. So I'm sorry, Vidar. Vidar is no friend of Loki. So do not put him near Loki or really his children. So it is said Ragnarok is not an end, it's a restart. It's a restart button. It's like rebooting the world. And that after Ragnarok, it is Vidar who sits on the throne of the All Father, and he becomes the new All Father. He becomes the All Father 2.0. So he is the Vidar. Vidar is the god of vengeance, retribution, and silence. There is was a custom in the old Viking age, and maybe even before that, that if you have sworn vengeance, sometimes people would not do certain things. Maybe they wouldn't Like Vali, he would not wash his hands nor comb his hair until his quarry, his prey, the one he swore vengeance against, was on the funeral pyre. Then he continued to went to wash his hands and comb his hair. But there, I'm not talking about just the gods, as well as people did this. And so, let's say someone killed your family, and you're in the Viking age now. Okay, we're not in modern age. We're in a let's say we're in the Viking age. Someone slaughtered your family, and you know who did it, and they did it because, oh, I don't know, you married a woman they want. So you may decide in that time, I swear, uh, I don't know, I won't eat meat until I'll just eat fish or something or vegetables, or I won't eat a certain meat, or I won't really, you know, wash my hands, or I won't unbraid my hair, or I won't do something. You take a vow and you won't do it until that person is dead, until that lifeless person's body is dead by your feet, with your sword in him or your axe, beheading him, whatever. So this is his, like, oath. He is he pers- this god personifies silent resilience. Now, as we know, all, like, Snorri Sturluson, Saxo Grammaticus were Christians, and they had wrote things. They preserved things, but of course, they preserved things with a Christian slant. So all the Norse writings, the stories, the myths, some of them were more harder to draw a Christian slant, especially if it was poetry. But I'm not saying they didn't do it, but there are Christian slants to the story. I mean, Saxo Grammaticus, when the killing of Balder, Loki wasn't even involved at all. But then with Snorri Sturluson, Loki was the catalyst to everything. Be that as may. So if you look at Saxo Grammaticus, the history of the Danes, you will see that Loki had nothing to do with the death of Balder. So, anyways, let's get on with this, since I don't. So, Vidar, well, his name deals with trees, the forest, the silent forest. And his name is sort of like the wide forest or the wide army. We can see loads of trees. He doesn't live in one particular tree. It's not one particular tree is associated with him. The whole forest of the trees is his. He lives in a forest, but not in a particular tree. He deals with the spirits of the forest. He is the spirits of the forest. He is the silent forest. He is the silent wide army. So his name is deriving with that. His name is deriving with the wide ruling army. And so Vidar is dealing with that. Now, do not put, like I said, I don't know if I said that in this take, because I had to do several takes. I got disturbed with phone calls and everything. That's why sometimes I do these things at night. I wanted to do it during the day for once in a while. But Vidar has a special boot. It's like this one big iron boot. that has many, many souls on it. So in you know the Norse time and in the Viking as well as the Viking Age, because the Viking Age is different, and not all Vikings were warriors. One of those offerings, and that you can still do today, is when your shoes or your sneakers or boots, when they're worn out, what they would do is cut the soles off and leave it as an offering to Vidar. Of course, they didn't have sneakers back then, they had like shoes and boots. But you see, back then, their soles, the shoes were not mass produced. They weren't artificial. They weren't artificially dyed. So these leather, it was actually leather, not rubber, and they would bury it in the earth, and it would be good for the earth. Now, if we bury our shit, it's not good for the earth. So, and it's not good for animals to eat. So, what you want to do is, if you want, you can offer your shoes and cut out the soles and say, "This is for you, Vidar." For it was believed that it would help Vidar conquer Fenrir, or at least help him with his boot. And interesting enough is, why would Fenrir attack Odin, the Allfather, when it was Tyr, who he trusted, that chained him and broke an oath to Fenrir, in which Fenrir took the hand of T. It's been Tyr, T, to, the god, take his hand. I would think that Fenrir would have a beef with Tyr. He's the one that put the sword in his mouth. He's the one that tricked him. He's the one that got the chains and bound him. He's the one that lied to him. He was the one that was supposed to be his guardian and protect him. I would think that Fenrir would be after Tyr, not Odin, Allfather. But in the stories, it says he's going to swallow Odin, and not only swallow the Odin, but swallow creation. And it is Vidar who conquers Fenrir, who is chaos, that's going to consume order and destroy everything. So we see Vidar as a savior at this point of time in the stories. And I know people like Fenrir. I mean, I love wolves too. I'm just going on by the Norse, and we don't shoot the messenger. But he is said, you see, he has the headless wolf's head that he chops off. And here he can now talk. He can now really speak, because in this statue he has conquered. And now he becomes Allfather 2.0. But as you know, when the gods, quotation, die, because they can rise again, and like as Balder, when after Ragnarok, Balder rises from Helheim, and Hother rises, and they reminisce of the old times, where Vidar and Vali find the chess pieces, golden chess pieces that the gods, their father, and the gods played with, and there's some sadness after the world, One of the interesting things is, and this is interesting of Ragnarok, is that The world is consumed by fire. It looks like hell itself. It looks like a picture of hell itself with fire and blackened sky. Gee, I thought the wait a minute. That sounds like the Christian hell, people. Fire and brimstones and blackened skies and smoke. Helheim is supposed to be a cold world. It looks like hell itself. That's why I'm saying, people, look, be careful, read between the lines. Sometimes you need to take things with a grain of salt. Say, hey, there is some truth here, but it's got a Christian slant to it. The world has, Midgard has a picture of hell itself. I forgot the exact wording, but come on. Really? Fire and brimstone? Anyways, back to Mr. Vidar. And he seems to be overlooked in a lot of books about the Norse gods. And which is pretty sad. I mean, it was very hard to get this statue, by the way. So, he's also called the Wide Ruler. Not just the Wide Army, but the Wide Ruler. And with immense power, formidable strength. He's respected for his tenacity, and he's a great warrior, for his great warrior-like skills and resilience, and his bravery, and his dedication. So, I've read shit that, he wasn't really accepted by the other Aesir. That he was, because he was Jotun stock. Blah, blah, blah. So was Thor. And that he did not live in Asgard, or had nothing to do with Asgard. And that is total nonsense. I wonder where people get their information from. Now, I swear, I think people just like to hear themselves talk or see themselves write, So, there are a lot of nonsense about it. So, Vidar brings back equilibrium and peace. So when you feel like, a metaphorical wolf coming after you, chaos is ensuing, and your world is breaking apart, and war is going all around you, maybe, doesn't have to be a literal war. Could be a metaphorical war. But your world is breaking apart. Your life is coming apart at the seams. You need help. You need a hero. Vidar! Vidar, save me from this Ragnarok that I'm going through. Vidar, slay my enemy like you slay the wolf. Vidar, my enemy wishes to consume me. My enemies wish to destroy my world. They're trying to take my job. They're trying to take my family. Maybe they're trying to take my home. They're trying to take my peace of mind. They're trying to take my life. They're trying to take my money. Vidar, they're trying to split apart me and my child. Or they're trying to, take everything from me. They're trying to hurt me. They're trying to bring me down. Vidar, it could be a situation that you need conquered and slain. A situation or people or a group of people that need to be silenced. Call upon the god Vidar. Give him an offering of your old shoes. Or just give him offering and respect him. And say that you will do something brave. Or maybe say, I'll give something up. How about a bad habit? I will do my best to give up a bad habit. Maybe you have a bad habit of pulling your hair. Maybe you have a bad habit of slicing yourself. Maybe you have a bad habit of burning yourself. And I'm not going to say, hey, I'll return to that bad habit once you do that. I'm just say, give up something for him. I will refrain from this habit. Or you could say, hey, I will refrain from having a social alcoholic drink. You know, until I have, or I will give up steak, or I will give up, let's just say beef. I'll give up beef. I'm done with beef. I won't eat beef. Or I won't eat pork. Or I won't eat chicken. Or I will give up dark chocolate. You see, you can still eat chocolate. You can eat milk chocolate. You can eat, well, white chocolate's not chocolate, but you can eat milk chocolate. So there's loopholes. Or I'll give up milk chocolate, but then you can have dark chocolate. So, hey. Or I will give up my favorite candy in the whole world until this is finished. And Vidar, please act quickly. I got some shoes for you. I got some old shoes for you. I got some sandals. It's in it for you. And it could be flip-flops from the beach. It could be sandals, boots, shoes, slippers that you use in the home. You can cut it off. Or if you're not able to, maybe you got a lot of arthritis in your hands and you really can't cut it off, you just give it to him. But, you know, that's just some of the things that you can do. So remember, he is a god of vengeance and retribution. But he also maintains order, peace, and equilibrium. He defeats chaos and the thing that would consume the world. And he can do that for you. The thing that would consume your world. The chaos that is threatening your peace. He is a military, not just a warrior. He's a leader. He's a military leader. Okay? So he's not just some run-of-the-mill warrior. He is a lead. He's a chief. He's a commander, or you can call him general. I know they're all different ranks, but I'm just saying. He is skilled as fuck. So his mother, Greater, Gridr, Greater, was one of the lovers of Odin. And like I said, she was Jotner, a giantess, and she was a giantess who was known for her armor and her weapons that she gave to Thor on his great conquest to kill Geirrod. Geirrod. Vidar is the possessor of the iron shoe. So, the iron shoe. The thick shoe. It might be funny to see someone with one shoe like this that like hobble. You know you gotta hobble with that. With a big iron shoe. Just hobbling. I mean, seriously, put one big platform shoe and with a regular flat shoe and see how you walk. And also the leather, the extra leather, not just the soles, but the leather from the shoes. So not just the soles. Sorry about that. So in the Gylfaginning, his shoe, this special shoe, is made of iron and leather put together from all the extra pieces that mortals, that men and women, have cut from their own shoes and given it to him. But I don't know in any stories, has he taken a vow of silence? Or is he just silent? So some people that are just silent, it's always a silent type you hear. But he has calm and focused demeanor. That's what he has. He has little times to go around to like parties and dances and soirees. Nope. Not him. At least we don't know in the stories. But he's not indicated as a party animal type of god. So his brother is Vali, Vali. And of course, since he's a son of Odin, he's got other brothers and other siblings. But Vali seems to be, along with, when we talk about Vidar, then some people talk about Vidar and Vali. Or Vali and Vidar. Vidar. So in Greek mythology, how the Greeks like to people like to, the Romans like to compare. Oh, your gods are our gods, and we could compare this Greek god, as the Vidar is kind of compared to the story of Aeneas, the prince of Troy. Now this prince survived the war against the Greeks, the Trojan horse and everything, Troy and the Greeks. So he survives. In which, how Snorri like to say, oh, these gods were actually deified people, blah, 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 with great power, or said to be great power. But we know our gods are gods, right? Oh, what else do I want to talk about, Vidar? And Vidar, I just put this white altar cloth because it would show off the statue better than, black or anything else, because it's such a small statue and it is dark. So, God, I'm just trying to think what else is of Vidar, because I've been talking about for 29 minutes. So you can put him next, of course, to Odin and Thor, he has no problems with them. Absolutely none. But like I said, don't put him next to like say Loki. I don't think they would appreciate each other. So what else can we think of him? When he is a god of justice, he does deal with justice. He does deal with righting a wrong. He does deal with, you know, bringing order. So if someone has wronged you, you can ask Vidar. Even if it's not as serious as I was talking about, you can ask Vidar to fix it. Someone wronged me. And you can't just think, oh, they wronged me because they looked at me funny. Or they wronged me because, oh, they're a friend of someone I don't like. You know, you can't just say someone, oh, because she broke up with me. Or he broke up with me. No, 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 no. We're talking about wronging. Like, oh, she used me. Took advantage of me. Then broke up with me. And we got something. If a relationship wasn't working out because y'all two were arguing and you just weren't getting along, good riddance. Break up. But if the person was using you, good riddance to them, but it just sucks, especially if they left you in a pile of debt. Like my ex did. What a loser and a louse. Just take advantage. And especially if maybe you see a wrong going on with your neighbors or with your friends, if you know of any instance of domestic violence, please call the police, especially when it is happening. Get help. Domestic, let me tell you something. Be careful about interfering with domestic violence. Domestic violence is the number one dangerous response that the police have to show up for. The number one. Okay? One of the worst things that they have to go to, that they're putting their life on the line, is domestic violence, because you don't know if the other partner is on drugs, you don't know if they got weapons, you don't know exactly how hyped up this person is, he or she is, So that's one of the most dangerous calls. Ask a police officer. They're going to tell you 9 out of 10 times it is the domestic violence call. Unless it's like a SWAT thing, But, the average call is the domestic violence. So do be careful when intervening. Call the police. Say, hey, I'm hearing my neighbor getting beat up. And then you can call upon Vidar, Because Vidar, it is against that shit. Okay? It's injustice. It's wrong. Especially when one can overpower the other and use whatever martial arts or gun training they have against their partner. So that's another way to call for him, Vidar. And his silence, do not make no mistake, is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign of passivity. It is not a sign of inaction. He is not a passive God. He does take action. It's just not this passive sign. It's to it's like conceal his potential for his ferocious fighting, his ferocious style, his great power when he needs it. He has great mental fortitude too. He's very smart. Trust me, he is very smart. So, other than shoes, what can we give this God? What can we honor this God with? We can honor him through, other than shoes, we can give him the average food and drink, some mead, some wine, some meat. I mean, God's the essence of food. They are known to eat and drink and be merry. And of course, chocolate is never a bad thing to give to him. To give to any gods. A lot of these gods love their chocolate. It's the new food of the gods. But, you can offer him whatever you feel like he's calling for. So, you can also, since he does represent the forests and the trees to help clean up the environment, that would be a good idea to help save trees. So, fighting to save the earth for not just us, but our children and our children's children is a good idea. I'm just trying to think because I might be ending this sooner than I like. Because, again, Vidar, there's not a lot of things about him, but I will say symbols dealing with him, or, of course, axe, helmet. Um, he Vidar is, as you can see, the helmet, the axe. He is just not a lot. And I wish more has been preserved. So a lot of things that are going to be coming out is people rediscovering him and unverified personal gnosis. And it could be like a group unverified personal gnosis, where it's not just where everyone has the same UPG going on. So it could be almost like verified, almost, or we rediscover our gods. So, and sometimes another offering we can give to him is when our mouths get ourselves in trouble. When we are in having an argument, we can just say, Vidar, let me be like you. Just zip it up. Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes you have to bite your tongue so you don't end a friendship, you don't cause a fight, you don't cause World War III around you. You know, just bite your tongue. Sometimes it's just best to be silent and just walk away. And sometimes, no matter how much you argue, you're not going to be able to change it. You can speak your piece, but you're not going to be able to change it. So sometimes silence is, is the best option at this point. So, anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about Vidar. I've been talking about him for 40 minutes and about how you can invite him into your life and use his power, his greatness to help you in your life. And I do hope you got some things out of it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you really love this video, and as because I don't have a Patreon account, so the way you can pay me is subscribe and like this video. Please comment what your thoughts on Vidar, and have you ever contacted this god? Have you ever even seen a statue of him? I got this on Amazon, so I'm sure they have a bigger one. And he's really, really cool. So, yeah. So, anyways, I do want to give. So I do want to give some announcements. Check out, if you're like a metalhead like me, check out a band called Pharmacide. The guy Pharmacide is also on Facebook. He's actually the singer, but he calls his Facebook page Pharmacide. Check it out, and check him out on YouTube if you like death metal. If you really like raw power death metal, you'll really like Pharmacide. So check them out. Also check out Witch in the Workings on YouTube. Witch in the Workings. Totally two different people. And this is run by Manon. He's a Gardnerian high priest, you know. So he's a magus. Considered a magus in the Gardnerian tradition because he has a lot of he hides off a lot of covens, so he's got a lot of covens under his garter. Check out Witch in the Workings. Also, if please do not think bunny rabbits are just for Easter or Christmas gifts and just a Christmas gift unless you know someone you give them as a gift that you know that's someone will treat this animal with great respect and love this animal to its very last days, and not just, oh, Christmas is over or Easter's over, time to get rid of the bunny. And please stop dying your fucking cats and dogs and rabbits in dye. It gets in their freaking eyes. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's not funny to take rabbits and dye them. Okay? It gets in their mouth, it gets in their nose, it gets in their eyes. How about if I pour some dye in your fucking eyes and see how you like it? Stick your face in it. Yeah, you wouldn't like that, would you? Little Vidar coming out of me. Vengeance, yes. But no, seriously. Also, Vidar can be called upon for vengeance, real quick, on those who you know is an animal abuser. Because they can't speak for themselves. And Vidar deals with the forest. It isn't right. It isn't right. He deals with nature, and it isn't right to take an innocent animal and dump it in a vat of dye or a bath of dye and think this is cute and funny. It's not. It's not funny. You know, I hope someone sticks your face in a fucking dye and see how you like it. Yeah, like your face dyed green and your eyeballs filled with that. But anyways, please, please, please let us be custodians of nature, not its destroyer. Not its destroyer at all. So anyways, Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We're heading towards Yule, so happy Yule to those, and happy winter solstice because it's coming. It's coming. But we're still kind of in the beginning of of December. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. And as always, blessed be.